It is a beautiful day in Alaska today. Look at that sky. Huh? Just incredible. So I got to swing by the dumps. I loaded up the truck, but I also have to swing by the MMC, which is my pet name for the RV that I moved up in here, or moved up here in the mobile man cave. Looks like we had a little bit of rain last night. I'm going to bring you along for a little trip. It's so gorgeous. I'm actually off today, and I'm going to get out of town a little bit, go for a little drive, show you a little bit of Alaska. Got a bunch of neat little gadgets with me today, and I made this trip earlier in the year and shared it with you guys. So we made the trip in the winter, and now we're going to make that little trip in the summer as well. I'm going to head on down to Homer, Alaska today. They've got the I think it's the Nick Dudiak fishing hole, and I showed you that and took some video with that before. This was before I got the camera. So the Canon T7i that I use quite a bit now. But I thought it'd be fun to take a drive down there as well. Normally this time of year, this whole section would be loaded with RVs. Lots of people traveling down. Homer is the halibut fishing capital of the world. You saw that sign in the previous video that I did. I think it was episode 13. And I'll link it right above. Put a card for it anyway right above. Kasilof, 12 miles. Homer, 73 miles. There's just something about the view of those mountains on the other side of Kachemak Bay. And that's what that water is there. So the main body of water is the Cook Inlet, which is actually part of the Pacific Ocean, I guess, the way that it comes in. And then the water in and around Homer is part of Kachemak Bay. There are a ton of places to stay down here. And Homer is just beautiful. A lot of very creative people here, a lot of homesteader type people here. This is where the Kilchers are. From Alaska, the last frontier, this is where they live. Got a great farmer's market. I think it's a weekend farmer's market with just incredible produce. And they have the Homer Spit. crest this rise, we are going to pull over into the parking lot here. It's a rest area, but it's also a view area. And this was on the original video as well. And that is Kachemak Bay. I've got the gardens all planted. We'll take a walk through there. I'll grab the camera and walk us through. That's a beautiful view. Low tide too. Headed down towards Homer, and there are two bald eagles sitting side by side in a tree right there. Here is the mouth of Kachemak Bay. Gonna head out to the Homer Spit today. Just a beautiful day. Overcast and cloudy, but man, it's pretty. It is pretty. Let's go back to Mr. and Mrs. Eagle. Pretty awesome. Stopped off there and got a couple of pictures at the overlook, and bald eagle landed in a tree, and I didn't realize until afterwards that there were two of them sitting side by side. So I got some video of that, posted it on the Instagram page. Check it out. There's a link for Instagram right in the show notes, or right on the channel banner on the top right hand or the bottom right hand corner of the banner picture on the top of the channel. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter. I'm uploading this right now to Instagram, or the little short 30-second video I took of the view. Look at that, huh? I had a coughing fit because as I was walking up, I inhaled a bunch of little friggin' gnats. People are looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? But yeah, a couple of bald eagles. Beautiful. There's like, you could go to the dumps or buy the dumps in Soldotna during the winter and see more bald eagles than you'll ever see in your lifetime. Or you can come down to Homer any day of the week, any time of the year, and just see a ton of bald eagles. A little point out there is where we're headed. Homer Spit. think we're gonna go dual camera here. People fishing down on the beach. I can think of worse ways to spend the day than to have a view like this. This is sitting on the Homer Spit looking towards the mouth of the Kachemak Bay there on the right into Cook Inlet and the Pacific Ocean. Just beautiful. Tide's coming in. It's coming in pretty quick. So I'm going to take a drive over here. I took some pictures of the Seafarers Memorial again. By no means was it even remotely as close though as what it looked like in the winter with the sun and everything else, but it turned out pretty well. I was pretty excited with it. So I took some pictures of that and realized that once again Sean did not charge all the batteries up for the main camera, but I do have one full battery left in there out of the 3 that I had. I've been shooting a lot of video and I've been shooting a lot of pictures. So I'm gonna head over now to the fishing lagoon. Tide's coming in, and see if we cannot see some people fishing and catching some fish and maybe dip a rod in ourselves. Nick Dudiak Fishing Lagoon. A ton of people down there fishing already. And the tide hasn't even really started to come in. Let's get this thing going. I literally just walked down here with my lunch. This guy's got a salmon on. Looks like he top hooked him. That's a foul hook. I don't know how that works down here. But as you can see, all kinds of folks fishing the hole. That's where the water comes in at, and the tide's way out, so it's just starting to come back in. I could be wrong. It could just be his pet fish. He could be out taking it for a walk. And the tide is officially coming in. Just starting to move. Tides up here are huge, very huge. I can't get over how clear that water is. It'll be interesting to see how big the tide is today. And that is how fast the tide's coming in right now. It is rocking and rolling. It's like a river in reverse direction. The climb down, it's going to be an interesting climb back up to the Kilton. I'm not going to lie. No women and children should see this. But I was up there and I was watching, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 small salmon just come barreling through this freaking inlet. It was awesome. This is the tide coming in right now. Look how clear that water is. It's beautiful. There goes one. Moving his way in. Where is he at? a guy sitting up on the top of the hill here, riding his bicycle over here and listening to Celtic music while I was standing up there taking the pictures earlier. And he said, look right out in the water, and I did. You could see the wake that the fish were pushing in as they're getting ready to come in here. I mean, that tide is huge. I mean, it's just phenomenal how big the tides are up here. Over here, everybody's all lined up on the bank. It's like they all check the tide tables, unlike me, who just showed up. There's a whole bunch coming in. And an enterprising young man, who would probably get in a lot of trouble for doing it, set up a little net down here at the end. Then as they swam in, he could pretty much just grab what he wanted, call it good. So post-apocalyptic world, that's what we're going to do here. When the salmon are coming in, we'll be down here harvesting as they come into the inlet, as they come into the lagoon. There's another group coming in. I mean, is that crazy? That's insane how many fish are coming in. And these are mostly planters, I guess. Planters, I call them, but they're hatchery fish. And when that tide goes out, they're all going to be stuck in there again. About a half an hour ago, there was no water at all. It was all going the other way. You can see most of the folks that were fishing over here have all left there, and they're all going over here to fish on the inside of the lagoon. The water's really coming up. Give you an idea how fast that tide's coming in. Crazy. Tides come in quite a bit. Nice. Watch the tide come in. Got some great video of fish, salmon coming in through really crystal clear water. Met a nice guy named Kim. Works at the fly box up in Anchor Point. Told me to hook up with him, and he'll hook me up with some fly fishing lessons, which I could always use. I've caught some fish on flies before, but I've never really gotten into the sport the way that I wanted to. Saw people landing a bunch of salmon, some decent stuff. So, some clarification from the guy I was chatting with. The hatchery fish that are here are coho, which are silver, and chinook, which are kings. For reds, you have to go over to Kachemak Bay, and they have hatcheries over there for reds, I guess. Why anybody would really do anything with the reds kind of amazes me, because there's so many reds, it's crazy. But they do have hatcheries for pinks, too. I guess pinks are good money market, fast-growing fish. Not really a fan of them. I can think of worse ways to spend the day than to have a view like this.